Hey everyone, कैसे हैं आप लोग? मेरा नाम है आकाश and I welcome you all to this channel. So friends, in this video, we'll be coding this particular game. That is, we have to guess the color. It works something like this. Like let's suppose if we guess the correct color, uh, we are going to get 10 score, and we'll also be able to see the feedback. And if the time is over, we will show this particular screen that is game over. Thanks for playing. Let's reload the page once more. As you can see, we have a 4 seconds timer over here, and we are also showing one option of best score, and we will generate the random color for each and every particular round. So let's understand this more clearly. So for that, I have just created a simple diagram over here. I hope it's visible. So this only represents the module, different modules that we will be creating. So one module that we have just seen was timer over here, and another module was rounds and game over. So basically, like we have a timer of, like, let's say x seconds. Once the timer is like timed out, the round will, like, basically the round will get decremented by one. So like total number of rounds are 5, so one round will be finished, then second round, and once the 5 rounds the threshold is completed, it will show game over. So this is one complete process. Another process is that we have to guess the color. So if we are guessing the right color, then score will get incremented by 10. Else, if we are guessing the wrong color, then nothing. So in place of nothing, we can show some wrong feedback, like, and we are also going to update the best score when the user or the player will give the right answer. And right now we are showing the wrong feedback, but in future we can also change it to negative score, like -10 or -5 for the negative answer. And we have another module that is to generate the random color, and in that random color generation there should be no duplicate color. Like, let's say, let's reload the page, and in this particular options there should be no duplicate color. Cool. So friends, I hope the challenge is quite interesting. And why I have selected this, because you are going to, like, we are going to learn different things. Number one will be the timer, okay, and number two will be to manage these different things and to generate these random color options. Okay, so let's have a look and let's try to code this one. We will be focusing more on logic, so that's why I have already set up this UI portion. Okay, as we can see, it's a simple UI portion, simple, this header, logo portion, and we have this particular section that is timer, round, score, and best score. Then we have this simple, this, what color is this. Okay, now if I have to show you the style.css, you can copy this. Okay, I will push this code into GitHub. So in this also we have simple header class. Okay, and this is the css for this particular gradient that is visible over here. Apart from this, we have a very simple css, feedback, game container. So we are going to use this particular classes throughout this video. Okay, no need to worry. Now now let's see what we can code first. So as we know, we have different modules to code. So first of all, we are going to code is the timer module. So what I'm going to do is, I'm first going to create the state, const timer comma set timer. At the same time, what we can do, we can create another state. Okay, it's giving space. So let's create few more states. Okay, so these states that I'm creating is for, cool. So friends, as we can see, I have created few states. So these states are all related to our gaming setup only, like this particular game. ठीक है. So number one में हमारे पास क्या है, timer. Then we have round, score, best score, and game over. It's a boolean value. Rest all are like number. So to code the timer, let's create the use effect first. So what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to create the interval, const interval, and we are going to make use of set interval over here. Set interval, and after every 1 seconds, what we can do over here is we can simply do, so sorry, just we have to do set timer, and inside this timer we are going to get the access to previous timer, and then we are simply going to do is, so what we can do is simply return previous timer minus 0.1, and over here let's add this timer as the dependency array. Okay, and finally what we can do over here, let's add this thing that we have just created, timer. Cool. Let's see if it's working or not. Hmm, it's not working, friends. Mhm. Yeah, cool. Okay, so it's looking quite weird. Let's fix this also. So what we can do is we can use this particular function to fixed, and let's pass one to it, something like this. And one more thing I'm going to do, yeah, one. Let's refresh it. Let's see how it looks. Uh, uh, uh. Okay, four. It should actually, yeah. So let's try to fix this. It's not working as expected. So what we can do is it's going in negative. So to fix this, I am simply going to take new timer, and we are going to give previous timer minus one to it, and then finally what we can do is return this particular new state, that is if new timer is greater than 0, then we are going to give it new timer, or else simple 0. Now let's see, 420. Okay, cool. Mm-mm-mm. One more thing that we can do over here is clear interval. So we are going to clear our interval as well, return and this particular callback, and simply we are going to turn the interval. Let's see if it is working right now. Cool. So uh, let's remove this dependency array for now. Cool. So as we can see, our this particular setup is done. That is to make this particular timer, and now we have understood how to create the timer. Now what we can do is we can make it fast. So as we can see, yeah, it's running fast. So to make it faster, what we can do is we can simply add 40 over here, and we can simply modify this to 10 milliseconds, and we can add it zero point 0.1 over here. It's still 4 seconds. Okay, you can like do the maths, it's still 4 seconds, but it will be like visually faster than before. Let's see. Yeah, cool. Now one more thing that we can do, for that let's create another use effect, and let's understand it. So now what we can do is, uh, over here as you can see, when the timer is like, we have not selected any answer and timer is finished, we show timeout over here. Okay, so how we can code it out is like simply uh, remove this particular code, and what we can do is if timer is less than equal to 0, and we can simply do is just create another class, oh sorry, state, and This state will be for feedback. Set feedback. Initially it will be empty string. And similarly we need one more class that I'm going to create now, that will be feedback class, and set feedback class. Okay, something like this. And finally over here we can do is set feedback to feedback, oh sorry, timeout. Okay, and similarly we are going to do is set feedback class to small timeout. Cool. This is the code up till now. Let me show you that we have a timeout class already in place. Now, one more thing that we can do is we can code the UI for timer as well. Sorry, we can code the UI for feedback as well. So this is the div that is closing over here, and just over here it will be like adjacent, or we can say horizontally aligned to this particular title. So we can simply add that particular div over here. And what else we can do is, so this is it, simple id, and we have given it a class name of feedback. Then inside that we have a simple span with the feedback class and feedback. Okay, sounds good. So let's have a look if it is working or not. It's not working. So let's try to have a look at the use effect. So this will be running the first time. Yeah, let's add the dependency for timer over here, and let's check now. Cool. So our timeout is working, as we can see. Now one more thing, like once the timer is zero, as we can see over here, like once the timer becomes zero, our round is like round gets incremented, basically first round and second round. So for that we are going to create one reset round function. So we'll be creating this, but for now let's comment it out. So cool. So we have got like timer functionality complete. Okay, what else we can do now? Another thing that we are going to code is the options, the functionality to generate the random colors. Yeah, this one. So let's start coding it. So in order to do this we are going to create two more states. So we have created two states. One is RGB color and second one is options. So RGB color means the this particular color. Okay, and these are the options. And we are also calling two functions. One is to generate the random color and another one is to generate the color options. That are four color options. And we are passing the initial like argument, that is RGB color. So let's quickly create these functions and you will get a better idea that why we are passing this RGB color and why not. So let's simply do function generate random color. So we are simply going to use math.random to generate the random color, and let's quickly duplicate it. RGB. Okay, and we are going to return this RGB. Inside this what we are going to have is R, then comma GB, something like this. One function is done. Let's try to create the another one. Don't worry friends, we are going to like, okay, so let's have a look at this first. So we are simply using math.floor, and inside this we are using math.random multiply by 256. So let me tell you one thing. As you can see over here, the range of RGB color is between 0 to 255 for each red, green and blue. So this is what we are doing. With the help of this particular function, we are actually generating the color code in range between 0 to 255. Now let's write the code for this, and it is going to take the correct color. Now inside this, what we are going to do is, let me tell you the idea. So in this four options, we know the one option is the correct color option. So we have to by default add that particular item into our array. So that's why when we are going to create the options, so this correct color will be there by default. And now what we can do is we can simply have, okay, one more thing. Okay, let's discuss it afterwards. First, options dot length. If it is less than 4, we are simply running a loop, and const random color equals generate sorry, generate random color. Okay, so we are generating a random color 4 times, and inside this we are going to see if options dot include, okay, if option dot includes this random color, we also have to remove, basically we have to make sure that duplicate color should not be in there. Then only we are going to do options dot push this particular random color. So I hope this code is clear. So what we have done over here is, first we are going to generate the random color, that is the RGB color. So this is the RGB color that we have to guess, okay, and this is the correct color, right? Now apart from this, we are generating another three options. Why? Because one option will be this correct color option, that's why we are pushing it by default. And apart from it, we are generating another three basically unique colors. Now one more thing that we have to do is return this options dot sort math dot random. Okay, so using this particular logic, we have successfully generated the options, but we have to make sure. So what this particular line is doing, it's actually arranging these options randomly. So we have to make sure that every time the correct option is not generated at the same place, or else the user will know that this is the correct option every time. So we are arranging these options randomly, sometimes over here, sometimes over here. So it's a simple piece of code that simply like randomly generating, rearranging the options that we have in our array. Now this thing is done. Now let's complete the UI for the same. So what we can do is over here, um, yeah, let's have a look at the UI now. So number one thing that we are going to do is we are going to remove the black color from here, and we are going to add the randomly generated color. Cool. This looks awesome. Now let's come over here. Let's have another div, and inside this let's assign it a class name of options container. Now inside this, we are simply going to do is options dot map. We are going to run a loop and nothing else. Color return the JSX. I'm going to use the button for this. Now over here, we are going to pass the key, and as we have different colors, we are making sure of different colors, so we can pass the color or we can also make use of index. Doesn't matter. Now on click, just for okay, so on click we are going to have one function, and let's name the function. For now we are going to make use of it in a while, and it's not breaking. Do we have this color? Okay, we don't have this particular function, but still it's not breaking. That's good for us. Okay, now over here, class name color button. We can remove this actually. Yeah. Now, one thing that I want to show you is this is the CSS for color button. This is a simple CSS for this particular buttons over here. It's the most important thing is this border radius 50%, that is making it circular. Now another thing that we are going to do is we are going to make use of the style. Why we are making use of style? So that we can give it a dynamic CSS, that is color. Okay, using this basically the random color that we are generating. So we have generated the random color options, right? And using that particular thing we are showing it over here inside this particular loop. So cool, this particular thing is also done. One more thing that you can do is you can add the area label that is generally used by the screen reader. So you can add it something like this, like choose color. Do let me know, friends, if you also need a video on accessibility. Do let me know in the comment section. Cool. So we have successfully created these particular modules. What else we can do is, okay, so we are done with it. Now let's try and create the handle guess function. So function, let's create the arrow function handle guess. Okay. So inside this handle guess, it will be taking the guess. And now what we can do is, first of all, we have to simply check a basic check that will come to our mind is if guess is equals to RGB color. Okay, I told you in the beginning that this is the correct color that we are generating. Okay, this is the color that we have generated. This is the random color that we have generated, and this is the color that we have passed over here. What color is this? Okay, so this is the correct color for us. So that's why we have simply added this condition. And if gas is equals to RGB color, then we are simply going to do set feedback as, sorry, correct, and set feedback class as correct. And finally what we can do is we are going to make use of new score equals score. Okay, so this is the thing that we have to do. We have to update the score as we have seen in this particular diagram. As I've told you that if it is right, then we have to update the score and the best score, else we are simply going to show the feedback to the user. And using this set score, yeah, we can set the new score. Come on, yeah, we could have also done something like using previous score, but we need this new score, that's why I'm using new score. So if this new score is greater than the best score, it's a simple logic, then we are going to update the best score as well as the new score. Cool. And one more thing, this best score is something that we are going to store in our local storage. So we can simply make use of local storage dot set item and best score, comma, this particular, come on, yeah, cool. And if guess is equals to RGB color, one more thing that we are going to do is reset round. Okay, reset round means to update the round. Like if we are on round number 1, then go to round 2, next round. Else what we are going to do, simply copy this, paste wrong and wrong. We have this class over here, correct and wrong. Cool. So this is the simple thing that we have done. One more thing that we are going to do is let's update over here as well the best score. So it will be like we are going to compute it something like this, parse int local storage dot get item, and the key is best score. Okay, okay, or 0. So we are doing nothing, we are simply fetching it from local storage if it is available, or else we are simply storing it as 0. Cool, so this thing is done. Now let's quickly create a function for reset round. Reset round. Reset round has a functionality. Let's discuss the functionality first. If the round is less than 5, then it is simply going to incrementing the rounds. It is simply going to increment the rounds like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But if round is like over, then we are simply going to do set game over equals to true. So let's quickly like write the code for this as well. If round is less than 5, okay, and let's give it the else. Cool. So if round is less than 5, we are simply going to keep on repeating this process. The process is that to generate the new color, and new color we can generate using generate random color. So we are going to generate the random color again, and once again we are going to set the RGB color, that is new color. Okay, and we have to also set the options, and that we'll be doing using generate color options. And we are going to pass the new color, because this time this is the new color. Basically this is the correct color. Actually we are repeating the entire process again, the process, yeah, this particular process. Cool. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a set timeout. Let me show you why I'm using set timeout. I'm using set timeout so that uh like I'm using set timeout to set feedback to empty string, but I want it to be after a delay of few seconds. We don't want our feedback to remain over there. We want it to like go away after, like, let's say a second. And another thing that we can do is set timer to 40 again, because as we know that we are decrementing it, so it will become 0, right? So we have to update its value again. And similarly we have to set round, and over here we don't need to use it again and again, so we can simply make use it of previous round. Previous round. Come on, yaar, give me suggestions. Yeah, previous round plus 1. Cool. Yeah, it's okay. And else what we can do is set game over to true. Cool. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Code is breaking somewhere. Cannot assign to read only property. Message of object. Cannot assign to read only property. Okay, got it. Cool. It was a simple syntax error. Cool. So, yeah, this thing is done. Reset round. We are going to call it over here. It's kind of a great help when we have these comments around. So, yeah, over here also. When the timer is 0 and we have to move on to the next round, so we have to reset the round. Reset the round, it's kind of, it doesn't sound good. You can like name it something else, because reset round means to reset it to 0, something like that. But yeah, we can name it something else. So for now let's keep it as reset round. Yeah. Now let's quickly copy this, and let's do the round over here. Copy score, copy, and best score. Cool. Let's see if it is working or not. Cool. It's generating the color as well. Mm-hmm. Let's try. Uh, let's try this. Let's try this. Yeah, we got the correct also, and now we got timeout at last. One more thing that I was noticing is our round is 5. Okay. uh, by 5 it should be. One thing that I was noticing is that we are not showing the game over HTML over here. So let's have that game over also. And let me first check that if we have updated that game over or not. uh, are we doing the game over somewhere? Yeah, cool. So we are doing the game over. So what we can do is we can simply uh, okay, so we can simply go here and have a condition game over. If game is not over yet, then you can show this. uh, okay, let's do it. It's quite, it's it's still confusing for me. Okay, and over here let's quickly add that HTML. Okay, cool. So friends, yeah, it's cool. Your total score is 0. Okay, so more of the things are done. Let me add the cross and tick around this. So cross, I'm simply copy pasting because I don't know how to generate it using a keyboard. Do let me know if you know how to generate this X using keyboard. Cool. So let's try to preview it over here. Let's see what we are getting. Okay, let's see. Correct. Cool. Wrong. We are getting wrong. Let's wait for it to get timeout. Yeah, timeout. Cool. Cool. 30. 40. Best score 40. Let's try to refresh it once more. Cool. Okay. Okay. Now I'm confused. Okay. Cool. So it is also getting updated. One thing. Just let me have a look. Okay. 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 Yeah. It's waiting over here at, basically it's ending over here. But as we can notice over here, let's refresh it. The thing that I want to tell you. Okay, okay. Let's just observe the timer. It's not waiting. It's going to 0. So we have to fix this. So let's have a look at the timer functionality. Okay, so over here what we can do is, if if game over, if go game over, we can simply do is return. Okay, let's have a look now. Okay. We need to pass the dependency array. So I'm going to pass the dependency array as timer, plus I'm going to pass the dependency array as game over. Let me check. Did it break? No. Okay. Cool. Cool, friends. It was not taking the. We don't need to pass the timer actually. We can pass the timer as well. Like, why I'm saying it, uh, because we are actually setting setting the timer like over here. So that's why let's pass it as also as a dependency array, plus we are, let's pass the game over also as the dependency array. So whenever the this particular thing changes, the call will come over here. Okay, so it's working as expected. Let's go through the code once. So friends, what we have done is we have created these many states, and what I think is that they are like few they are like few corrections that we can do is like const. What we can do is we can have these constants, because we can replace like this particular value over here with initial timer, something like that. And over here also, not over here, over here also we can replace it, because what might happen is like when we have to change this initial timer, and it is, if it is being used at different places, so we might forget at that particular time. So that's why it's better to use constants for all these particular state or particular code. Okay. And similarly you can also make use of this. I'm not going to replace it in the code, but yeah, you can make use of it. Now, apart from this, what else we could have done is we could have also like merged this particular state. Like we could have merged this particular state into one, this two state into one. Okay. So the code is done. Like let's, if you want to discuss, let's discuss it once. What we are doing, first of all, we have written the code for the timer, and after that we have written the code to generate these random color options. Okay. We have made sure that these are not duplicate. One more thing we can do is, one more thing that I wanted to show you is this particular code. I'm going to comment it, but let's have a look at it. Over here, in place of array, we are using set to avoid the duplicate elements. So this is also the, but the set has like different helper functions like size. Okay. So we can make use of this also, and from set, if you want to create the array, you can use array dot from. So, and this is the logic for timer, and on the basis of this we are updating the feedback class, and this is where we are handling the round functionality. Like if round is still less than 5, then update the round, or else game over. And this is, we are simply having this simple logic. If it is equals to the correct color, then we are simply going to set correct feedback and update the score, else we are going to update the wrong status. And this was the simple HTML. So friends, I hope you have learned a lot from this particular video. And if yes, don't forget to like and subscribe. One more thing, like if you want to optimize it further, you can simply take help of ChatGPT and merge the state if you want. Okay. So friends, this is it for this particular video. And this time we tried something new, and it is going to be a lengthy video, so do watch this video till the end. Okay. And do show your love and support, and thank you very much that we are now a family of 10,000 members. It means a lot. Okay. And one more thing, if you want to connect with me for anything, you can connect with me over this particular link. Okay. And that's it. Thank you very much. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Take care. Take care of your family members. We'll be meeting in the next video with something else. Okay.